Well, hey guys, and welcome to For the Love of Leftovers. I'm Katie, and today we are doing a little bit different of a video. We're not in the kitchen today, but we are doing things that are kitchen oriented. So, a little bit of a backstory. I recently got let go from one of my client jobs. As you can see, we are in my photography kitchen studio today. And for those that might not know, I am a food photographer as well as a food blogger and a mom to six. We've got a busy family, and I'm the sole provider for our family at this time. And so I lost a client the other day, to no fault of my own. Just things are changing in their business, but it was a huge hit to our budget. And so, of course, that sent us spiraling a little bit. And by us, I mean mostly me. Sent me spiraling a little bit, but it really gave me the courage and kind of that extra little push that I needed to finish creating a product that I've been working on for a bit. And it's called the Rescue Meal Plan. And so this is a not rescue meal plan, rescue meal planner. So this doesn't have recipes in it. This is literally a planner that's going to help you, based on your knowledge of your family, to come up with some meal plans that fit your family and fit your needs. So whether that's budgetary needs or dietary needs, time constraints, it's going to help you with that. Okay. So we are going to talk about this planner today in the video. I'm going to show you everything about it. I'm going to show you the ins and outs of it. And, this is what I'm using for myself. Okay. So I made this to help others, but life does what life does. And God is giving me the opportunity to use my own products and make them work for us. And so I really claim this to be the low to no budget, which means like $0 budget. Like we're not talking in like no budget, like, oh, we can go buy whatever we want. No, we're talking low to $0 budget, no stress, no thinking solution to meal planning. So I don't know about you guys, but like I've got a large family. Pretty much everyone's in basketball. We've got a lot of things going on. We've got $0 budget now. It's I can't take one more thing on my brain, especially during a day that is super busy or I'm overwhelmed. I need to have something ready to go that I can flip through and flip to and say, okay, I've got $20 to feed us for the rest of the week. What am I going to make? It's going to be in here. And I've even created a little emergency takeout order in here for those days where maybe you moms are running all over God's green earth, bringing your kids to meetings, to practices, to doctor's appointments, whatever it is. And you're like, you know what? I've got $30. I need so-and-so at the house to call and place a takeout order. So I've got a page in here that we're going to go over that is, you can break it down by budget. So you can print multiple of these pages out and you can have someone flip through and say, what can we order to go tonight? Because there's no time to cook anything. And we've got $30 that we can budget to spend on takeout. So they're going to flip through, find the takeout order that has your complete order written down. So you don't have to tell them what to order. It's already written out there and you can see, okay, this order costs $30 or costs $20 every time we order it, or costs $80 every time we order it, right? Takeout isn't cheap. So you can say, okay, we can afford that one. Tell me when you've ordered it. I will go pick it up and you'll know that you have $30 and you can cover it. Okay. So without any further ado, let's dive in and get going over this meal planner, and feel free to take pieces from it and use what works for you. All right, let's dive in. Okay, so here we are. We're just gonna flip through this. This comes to you as a PDF, and so you can print this out, print out however many pages that you need or that you want. This has one of each page in the book so that you can use it and utilize it to the best of your ability and what fits your needs. Okay. So the rescue meal planner, I'm going to skip over this kind of stuff. We've got table of contents, got introduction that kind of gives you the why and the idea behind this. And then we've got this a 4-step roadmap, what I'm calling it. Okay. So we've got this broken down into 4 steps. So step 1 is to take inventory of what you have, especially when you're dealing with a no budget scenario. You need to know what you have. You need to know what is expiring. You need to know what it is that you guys are just not going to eat. You need to know what you have, what those holes are. If you're like me and you have a child that's very picky, or like I've got one that's autistic, and so peanut butter is one of his main food groups, and I don't have peanut butter, I need to make sure that I'm writing that down somewhere, okay, and that we're fitting that into our no budget. So that means I either need to go to a food pantry or I need to, sell something to scrounge up some money, whatever it is. Taking that initial inventory is really going to help you to figure out what you can base your meals around. Okay, we've got a lot of chicken, so I know I'm going to be looking for chicken recipes later in this process. Step 2 is choosing your recipes based on what you have available. You're going to find recipes based on those ingredients. So like I just said, I've got a ton of chicken, so I'm going to be looking up chicken recipes. If I have a bunch of oatmeal, like oats, I'm going to look up recipes. So I'm going to be looking up granola. I'm going to be looking up maybe some slow cooker oat recipes, or how to make cookies from oats, things like that. Okay. So you want to make sure you're choosing your favorite recipes. And if you are not as restricted to what you have. So let's say, you've got money in the budget to spend weekly. This is still a meal plan that works. So you still want to take inventory of what you have, because you don't want to let your money rot on the shelf or in the fridge or in the freezer, right? But choosing your favorite recipes, you can look at that from more of a perspective of choosing recipes that you know that your family loves. You need to have your go-to recipes, especially for nights that you are just incredibly busy, or whatever the situation is, right? An emergency comes up, things like that. You need to know, okay, pasta is on the menu. I have the ingredients for pasta. We're going to fit that into our meal plan. It's going to happen tonight, right? So you're going to choose family favorites. I give you 3 options here in this planner. So you're going to choose family favorites, ones that your family eats all the time. Okay. Pasta is one for us. Burgers is another one for us. Things like that. You're going to write down those recipes or print them out from the internet. You can stick this all into a binder and have them use these pages more as kind of dividers, or you can actually write things down. If you're more of a pen and paper type of person, I will have a digital version of this coming for people that like to use good notes and things like that. But this one to start off is just printable, just to get it out quick and get helping people as I can. So choosing your favorite recipes, ones that your family loves, ones that are cheap within a certain dollar budget, and then one that is time restrictive. So you need to know what recipes are going to fit within 30 minutes. And I'm not talking like cooking 30 minutes. I'm talking prepped and cooked in 30 minutes. Or let's say you particularly need recipes that are prepped quick and easy, but they can cook all day. So if you're going to be gone for hours of the day and that's kind of a regular thing for you, you need to know, okay, I've only got 15 minutes to prep something, but we'll be home later to cook it. Then these types of areas are going to be where you would put those recipes in, so that then you can pull from them later, knowing that you've got 15 minutes. So like slow cooker recipes would be great in that instance. Next is fill out your recipe analysis. And so I have two ways of doing this on here. The first way is through a sheet that I have down below, and we'll go over that in a moment. And then over here, I also have a recipe analysis spreadsheet for those that like to use Excel and Google Docs, Google Excel. That's going to be linked here as a button. And then this video, as a reminder of how this whole process works, is going to be linked here as well. And then, excuse me, the last step is organizing your planner. So we're going to get into that in a minute. So we get into step one, which is taking inventory of what you have. I've got a pantry tracker here for you, a freezer tracker, and a fridge tracker. Use these or don't use these. Use them often, use them once a month, use them as you need them. The point is that these are here to help you and to help hold you accountable to using the things that you've already spent money on. Next, we've got, these are the recipe sheets. So I've got one for breakfast, snack, sides, dinners, and desserts. And then up here in the corner, I've tagged them based on their category. So here we've got family favorites. So we've got the breakfast recipe. That's a family favorite. That's a go-to that you know everyone's going to eat this. There's not going to be any leftovers, or if there are leftovers, people love them, not a big deal. So this is a great area for you to write down your personal recipes. You can also use this as a divider in a binder and print out your favorite recipes from the internet and put them then behind this as a divider. And you could use this almost like a table of contents where you're writing down the recipes that are then behind here. Okay, so then we're going to move down, keep going. And we're going to come to the time restraint ones. So I made one here that's 30 minutes. If you need something else, please feel free to email me and I can get a new one made up with a different tag here and get it sent over to you. No big deal. And anytime we update this planner, if you purchase it, it will be sent to you. I will send you the renewed version of it for free. No big deal. Want you to have it if we update it in any way. So 30 minutes, again, same kind of concept here. And then we've got budget, different color, same concept. You can use these as dividers or you can write down your personal recipes here. Here is a blank one in case you want to use this as a divider or the call out this recipe in a different way, right? Maybe a 15-minute recipe or slow cooker recipe or homemade recipe or sourdough recipes. I've left this blank so that you can print it out and make it what you need. Next is snack ideas. If you're like me and you're not always making snacks, but you're purchasing snacks, then this here is going to be helpful. So you can print this out and you can put your ideas up here like gummies or Cheez-Its or saltine crackers or dried banana chips, things like that. You're going to use this sheet to write those down. Again, kind of your quick go-to. Anyone can take this and go to the store. They don't need to have mom's brain in order to go to the store and purchase the snacks that the kids need for the week. Here is the beloved takeout order form. Okay, so here we've got restaurant, the phone number for the restaurant, the location, delivery, or pickup notes. So for us, there's a taco place that we love, but there's two in our area. So if I'm having someone call and place an order, I need to know what location they ordered it from, right? Or I need to tell them what location to order it from. So that way, when I say, hey, order tacos, it's on the takeout order, I know that they're going to get it from location A, not location B. So then right here, we have the standard order. So let's say you're doing a Chinese takeout and sometimes they have, numbers of their, I've got to update this a bit. Sorry, guys. But so say they've got a number for what it is they're ordering. So a number one is a poo-poo platter for two, how many you want, and then the cost. This unit cost will be gone, but the cost here, and then we're gonna total it all up if you know that there's tax, tip, and then the total amount. So this is the amount that you're gonna budget for. Payment details, you can write in here if you typically pay over the phone with a card, and maybe you write down the card number and all that so that somebody at home who doesn't have your card is then able to make the payment. So you just got to get there, pick it up, or you can say pay with cash only. Mom has the cash, right? Any special notes, extras if you need extra hot sauce or duck sauce or no peanuts, things like that, write them here. Moving on to our recipe analysis. So this right here is really the bulk of the brain work that's going to have to happen beforehand to get this whole thing really ready to go when you're working with a budget for meal planning, when you're working for meal planning for that aspect. So I've given you an example here of how it's broken down. You're going to put the recipe, the date, because we know inflation is a real thing, store that you purchase from. This is actually pretty important because we have a Walmart, we also have a Hannaford, we have Dollar General, we have different places that we can purchase these ingredients from, and those prices are going to vary. It might not vary too much, but even a dollar here, dollar there, if you're working on a $0 budget, you need to know that those prices are going to be pretty dang consistent. So then we've got purchase price of the item here, what the item is, the amount that comes in that item, whether it's a 1 pound of chicken breast or it's 48 ounces of meatballs, or if you want to number them as like 50 meatballs. This is a little fluid, so you can do how it works best for you. The amount used per the recipe that you're talking about right here, and the cost. And so I have this broken up in a couple of ways because for me and my family, this amount right here is what matters to us. The amount that I have to go spend at the grocery store is how we're budgeting meals. The cost per recipe is good for me to know because if I'm looking at this and saying, okay, this is $6 for the recipe, and I only use half of the sauce and I'm only using half of this, then I could double this recipe for an added $5 and essentially get, two for the price of maybe one and a half, things like that. When you start really breaking it down of, okay, this is what we have, this is the money that we have, this is the food that we have, then, that's where cost per recipe really comes into play. And then I do know that there are some people that do cost per serving for their budgetary needs. Excuse me. So I have that here as well. You would just obviously take the cost per recipe, divide it by the number of servings, and this doesn't have to be appropriate servings. This is your servings. These are recipes that you make on the regular. So if you make let's say if you make meatball subs, you know how many people in your family you can feed based off of this recipe, okay? So for example, my husband could eat 2 subs and I eat 1 and our children eat 1 and whatnot. So servings here, I'm going to include his 2, right? I need to make sure that so there's 8 of us. I'm going to make sure that the servings feed the 8 of us. It needs to make sense to you, okay? So I know that this recipe can feed 8 of us. So if we have company coming over, then this recipe is not going to work. I need to increase the recipe or what have you, okay? So make it work for you. So then I've got the blank one here. I wanted to give you the example there. Got the blank one there. Right here is where you would write down recipes, especially if you are using those prior cards as dividers. So if you are using these as dividers, then you could actually either use this as a divider, or you could organize your recipes in this manner. So $10 recipes, $20 recipes. And so you can use this dollar amount as either your cost from the store or your cost per recipe or cost per serving, however it is that you would like to use it. And then you write down here all of your recipes for breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, sides, snacks, and then I've got a blank one here that are those $10 recipes. So any recipe that goes on this page should be a whatever number you put in here, a $10 recipe, a $20 recipe, whatever it is. That needs to go in here. And then so if you have, let's say you do $10 recipes for all of these, that means you need to print out more for $20 recipes, more for $5 recipes, whatever it is. Use these individually, but yet collectively, okay? And then I've got the blank one here. You could do you could do this as $10 recipes and then use this top one to do family favorites. Use this one to do slow cooker or 30 minutes. Like you can break them up however it is that you need to break them up. Or you could do a under $30 recipes. Okay, and then over here in this column, you could write down exactly how much it is. So this first recipe is $10. This next recipe is $15. This recipe is $5 because it's whatever, a breakfast or what have you. Next, we have favorite recipes. You can list all of your favorite recipes, the difficulty level, the star rating at which your family loves it. So if you know everyone's had a long and a rough week, come in here and pick something that's going to be easy and that everyone loves. If you have a kid that's learning how to cook, again, find something that the difficulty level is easy and you know everyone or mostly everyone loves, right? I mean, obviously these are favorite recipes, so the rating should be pretty high on all of them, ideally. Next is recipe by cost. So here I say to select one method based on the cost analysis that we did above. So you're doing cost at the grocery store or cost per recipe or cost per serving. Choose one. Don't do a whole bunch here. Not worth it. So for me, I would do cost at the grocery store and I would make number one, $5, number two, $10, 15, 20, 25 and or whatever it is, and then I'm going to color in based on my key here, okay? And then we've got an actual grocery list that you can then make based off of your recipe. So this should help you to at a glance and quickly plan your week and say, okay, we've got I've got $50 to feed us for the week. So I'm going to come in here and look at my recipes and I'm going to say, yep, one of those, one of those, one of those, one of those, and make sure that it's budgeted for under that $50 that I have to take to the grocery store. And then I'm going to look at those recipes and look at my pantry tracker, fridge tracker, freezer tracker, and use those together to then make my grocery list and spend as little money as possible. Okay, so I've got two grocery lists here, just dependent on how it is that you like to break them up. I wanted to give you those options. And then here at the bottom is the contact information for myself. So I know that was quick. I didn't want to take up a lot of your time because I know your time is valuable, just like your money. So check this out. I will leave a link in the description. And if you're watching this on the purchase of it, thank you. Really appreciate it because you are literally helping to feed my family. All right, if you have any questions at all, if you want to see other products like this developed and created for you, if there's other things that you know would be helpful, but you can't figure out how to make them, or if you want to see this in different colors, or if you want the digital version of it for GoodNotes, leave those things in the comments or simply email me at katie@fortheloveofleftovers.com. and really looking forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much for being here. Be blessed.